Hello everyone, this is the first lecture regarding the Cphq Preparation, the Certified Professional in Healthcare Quality license. I am Mohammed Tarek. I'll be hosting you through the Cphq journey. I'm a physician, a Total Quality in Management and Healthcare Diploma owner, and a Certified Professional in Healthcare Quality. Well, first of all, a Certified Professional in Healthcare Quality is an individual who has passed the accreditation examination, demonstrating competent knowledge, skill, understanding of the program development and management, quality improvement concepts, coordination of survey process, communication and education techniques, and department management. This is the definition as per as the National Association in Healthcare Quality booklet that's published through the NAHQ website. This is basically classifying your examination to 4 fundamental parts for which you will get all graded. The structure of the examination. The examination is 140 questions. You are graded only on 125, and the rest of the questions, which are 15, are being used to assess the integrity and the capability of the questions to truly assess the examinee's level. You are not to be graded on those 15 questions, and also they are not bonus questions. The passing grade is a 92 or 93 out of 125. The average grade being scored by examinees is 100 of 125. Types of questions. Remember, all the questions through the Cphq examination are MCQ questions. You get 53% of the questions are application questions, where you understand the concept and you try to apply it to a case scenario most commonly. 32% recall, where you know it or you don't. You just have to know the information from your book, which is Janet Brown. And 15% of analysis, where you have to do 2 steps or 3 steps through the question, and most probably those are the information management questions. How to register for the examination? You go to www.goamp.com. That is www.goamp.com. That's where you will be able to register and create your account for the examination. This is the print screen of the website. There is a real evidence of a male physician here. There is no justification for the dog, however. Anyhow, so you go on AMP Home, you click on Candidates, and you transit yourself to the next slide. You would be faced by 3 choices where you would have to choose the examination you please. In our case, we will be choosing the Cphq. For the first choice, you click Healthcare of the drop menu, the second, Healthcare Quality Certification Commission, and the last is Cphq Examination. Those are the contact numbers. I would strongly recommend that you would use them whenever you want. Skype also is included. They have a number there, and they are very helpful people. If you don't have an account on there, that's why you'll encourage you to do an account, and that's where you'll be transited through the website to make an account. And it takes them about a week, give or take, in order to create your account. Then they will be notifying you via the email, and you would be acting accordingly. And then you'd be escorted to the web page where you would be scheduling your site of the examination and so forth. Well, the exam is so expensive, it's $440 worth, so you better do it first chance. Well, more elaboration about the structure. The exam is divided into 4 main parts, namely performance measurement and improvement, patient safety, information management, management and leadership, where the highest percentage of questions and concentration lies within the performance measurement and improvement, which is chapter 4 of the Janet Brown book. Patient safety, however, is the end of chapter 3. Information management is chapter 5. Management leadership is spread around actually, but it's more concentrated in chapter 2. This is a blueprint of the examination. A blueprint basically summarizes the breakdown of the marks. What is the category of the 4 that has the highest percentage as far as questions are concerned, the number of questions, which of them is recall, which of them is application, which of them is analysis, as we discussed earlier. And as you may have noticed, the performance measurement and improvement has the highest amount here with 38%. 47 out of your 125 questions are there, and those are the marked questions where you would get the passing hit. Rule number 1. Use your common sense along with what you are going to learn. I mean, all of you are in the market, all of you have faced those situations before, and most of the situations are really very straightforward and common sense-ish. You don't have to know everything in order to be able to walk yourself through the questions. It's true that you're going to get more of the basics through this course, but all in all, you've got it all. If you try to think with your common sense through the question, 70% you're going to get the answer right. Okay? And I would endorse the people of the Total Quality Management Diploma to go ahead and read their slides, and this will help them so much with the examination because they've got all the basics. Rule number 2 is regarding the resources. Your backbone is Janet Brown, and Janet Brown, and Janet Brown. The most important chapters of chapter 2, patient safety part of chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5. More elaboration can be done on the rest of the chapters, but after finishing the previously mentioned ones, namely 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is in addition to every single piece of practice questions that you can get your hands on. Not just the ones at the end of the book, but every single source of questions that you get your hands on. Rule number 3, the question bank is limited, so practice, practice, practice. Try to solve as many questions as you can and as many times as you can. It doesn't mean you solve them once, they're done. You do them again, again, and again in order to be able to memorize and know the questions by heart. Now, for the first topic of the day, quality in healthcare. So, a lot of pioneers in quality have established a definition, and they all take different perspectives as far as the customer is concerned, as far as the accreditation board is concerned, and so forth. So, the first and general definition of quality is basically doing the right thing right the first time and every time, which entails the identification of standards. So, if you are doing the right thing, but of the second trial or the third trial, you are wasting time, you're wasting resources, you're wasting effort, which is not considered as quality service. And if you do it just once, it's again a waste on the second or third time, which will be wrong. So you're entailed to perform every aspect of your service as right off the first time and every time you do it. This entails the identification of standards because you need to know what is right. Right is a subjective word, so everyone has to have a reference to which they can refer in order to be able to identify what is right and act accordingly. The JCI have defined the quality in healthcare as the degree to which healthcare services for individuals and populations increase the likelihood of desired health outcomes and are consistent with current professional knowledge. Again, this is more broken down, this is more specific to healthcare, where they would correlate the quality in healthcare as the degree to which health services for individuals or populations increase the likelihood of desired health outcomes. So that is the right thing to do, the desired health outcomes. And the consistency with the current professional knowledge is somehow their standard that they would correlate to. Joseph Duran, one of the pioneers of healthcare quality, defined the quality as the fitness for use concept, where he broke down the definition of quality into two subcategories, where product features are mentioned and the freedom of deficiencies is considered. Product features that attract and satisfy the patient, meet the customer expectations, distinguish one practitioner or organization from the other. You have to be unique, you have to satisfy your customers' needs, and attract your customers. You would have to have an attraction factor. Freedom of deficiency, which decreases the customer satisfaction and reduces the cost of poor quality. Of an item that does not have any deficiency would not need a redo. The recipients of care, on the third hand, will define the quality as the functions of the service, or what the service can do for them. The suppliers of quality would define the features, the quality as what the service can do as its functions and items. Well, now going to the quality management models. There are two principal models we're going to explain in details that are clearly consistent and correlating to our examination. They are namely the Duran model and the JCI model, where planning, control, and improvement are the items of the Duran model. JC model, design, monitor, analysis, and improvement. A quick word here. Planning of Duran's model is the design part of the JCI model, so we're not going to explain those twice. Improvement of Duran's model is the same as improvement of the JCI model. However, the control part is broken down in the JCI model into monitor and analysis. The Joseph Duran application of quality. The quality triology, in other words. It consists of quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement. This is a closed circuit which has to go on indefinitely, where you would start planning or designing for your project. You control what you've planned for in order to know the defaults and try to work on them with your improvement phase.